Now, as we first reported back in February, the United Nations is developing an action plan to respond to the surging wave of anti-Semitism around the world. The issue will be addressed at a summit in Cordoba, Spain next month. But given the UN's own record on dealing with anti-Semitism, especially extreme reactions against Israel and Zionism, questions are being raised how the body itself will deal or can deal with this sensitive topic. For more, let's go to our senior U.S. correspondent, Mike Wagenheim in New York. You've been following this story from the beginning, Mike. Tell us about this conference and some of the questions being raised.
Miguel Moratinos, the UN focal point for anti-Semitism. His office confirmed with us this week that indeed that meeting that he had talked about in that interview with us back in February is moving forward and is scheduled for June 20th and 21st in Cordoba, Spain. We spoke with a number of American Jewish organizations who confirmed their attendance at that meeting, including B'nai B'rith and the American Jewish Committee, also the European Commissioner for coordinating fighting anti-Semitism and Jewish life in Europe, confirmed that she will attend as well. The State Department says they're still planning their June travel, though I can't imagine they're not going to send a representative there. When we spoke with Moratinos back in February and he told us about this planned meeting coming up in Cordoba, it seemed, at least from what we gathered, that this would be more outwardly focused on anti-Semitism. In fact, he told us that he doesn't believe the UN is anti-Semitic at its core. Well, of course, that would be laughable to most Jewish organizations and Israel as a whole. And those organizations want the UN to focus more on inward anti-Semitism within its own ranks, which Moratinos disputed really even exists to any substantial measure. So it's really going to be interesting here how this is all framed in that meeting at Cordoba and what really comes out of it in terms of an action and response plan. B'nai B'rith's Director of UN and Intercommunal Affairs, David Michaels, told us he'll be attending and wants to see a serious contribution to confronting anti-Jewish bigotry both outside and within the UN. And specifically, he wants to see the UN adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism. That's the definition which has been adopted by most mainstream Jewish organizations and, in fact, a number of governments around the world. And the Biden administration said they embrace that definition, though they haven't officially adopted it yet. There have been calls, though, especially in the last week or so, from a number of fringe Jewish organizations and other anti-Israel and human rights organizations who have explicitly called for the UN not to adopt the IHRA definition. So this will be a major bone of contention, I presume, coming up in this meeting next month.